What's going on, guys? It's Guardian, and today I'm coming right off of that little Chiempao gameplay with something that I promised last time. We're going to be playing some Hydreigon EX, which is my favorite new comfort deck in the standard format. I mean, look at this absolute beautiful card right here. You cannot deny this thing is ready to take some names. So let's go over the list real quick. We play one copy of Lumineon V, which allows us to place it onto our bench and start your deck for any supporter card. This can really get you anything that you need as far as like Arvins, Boss's Orders, Crispin, which is going to be a huge play in sort of a deck like this that requires a lot of energy for your main attacker to start going crazy. Iono is going to be another supporter that you're probably going to grab with your Lumineons. Professor Churro, you might need to play that down. Grab Professor Churro and pick it back up, or pick another one of your Pokemon back up. There's a lot of things that Lumineon can do for you, and especially in today's format, there's a lot of supporters right now that you can just fish right up, no pun intended, and get right back and get into the game. We got Rotom V, which allows us to, when it's on our bench, we draw 3 cards, but our turn unfortunately ends. So this is something that we're going to play during turn 1. It's probably going to sit on our bench for a little bit. It could be a bit of a liability if it's there for a little while. It could get bossed up into the active, and there could be some shenanigans with it being in the active spot and not being able to retreat. We play a 4-1-3 line of Dino, Zweilous, and Hydreigon. Now, this is going to be very essential, especially in a Bidoof format where our rare candies can be turned off at any point throughout the game. We want that Zweilous. Neither of these Pokemon are very interesting. I mean, Zweilous has the Stomp Off attack, which allows you to discard 2 cards off of your opponent's deck. I mean, it's nothing really too crazy, but it's going to be something that if you're in a rough spot, you're probably going to want to use it every now and then, especially as a one-prize attacker. But Hydreigon EX is going to be the main big boy in this deck with Crash. Not exactly sure where the mic cut off, so we're just gonna go ahead and go again. So Hydreigon EX is gonna be the massive attacker in this deck. For 2 energy, 200 damage, discard the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. If that wasn't already bad enough, we have Obsidian for 4 energy, 130 to essentially 130 damage to 3 Pokemon of your choosing. So your opponent's bench 2 prize liabilities, you can take 6 prizes in 1 turn with an Obsidian. You can take 7 if you play a Briar. This is like something that you can really start honing in on, especially since a lot of Pokemon are susceptible to getting hit with Obsidian twice and folding. A lot of your Rotom Vs, which I just covered over here, your Lumineon Vs, those things can get hit with Obsidian and just have to sit there and have to take that constantly. And that's something that I really like. We have a Pheasantipede in here, just in case one of our active Pokemon gets knocked out, or any of our Pokemon actually get knocked out, we can just draw 3 cards straight up. Gonna be really good for us to be able to keep that consistency going. Play a 2-2 Pidgeot line, quick search, the best ability in the game. Search your deck for any card, put it in your hand. I mean, there's really nothing else that you could really hope for in a deck like this. Playing 4 copies of Buddy Buddy Puffin here just to be able to get our Zweilous down, or Dinos down, sorry, not Zweilous. Our Dinos down and our Pidgeys down just as soon as possible, because we want to get Pidgeot and Hydreigon out as soon as possible. We play 2 copies of Counter Catcher. This deck plays from the back foot a lot, so being able to bring out whatever you want without using a supporter card is going to be huge in this kind of a deck. We play 2 copies of Dark Patch, just in case we're in a spot where we have to discard a Dark Energy or 2. We want to be able to use Dark Patch on our Dino and Zweilous and maybe even Hydreigon, and start to get the ball rolling. Get the ball rolling a little bit. We play 1 singular copy of Earthen Vessel. There's really not a spot in the game where you're going to be searching out energy, aside from using Crispin, because aside from that, I mean, you're just going to be drawing into them. I mean, Dark Energy is really something that you're not really going to be putting on your Dinos, believe it or not, because there's going to be the Ace-Spec of choice that you're going to want to use instead. We're going to be playing 3 copies of Nest Ball, just because almost everything is a basic Pokemon in this deck, so Nest Ball is really just going to be ultimately superior in a deck like this. We play 1 copy of Night Stretcher, just in case one of our energies gets discarded, or one of our crucial energies needs to be discarded. For whatever reason, we can just Night Stretcher it back. If our Hydreigon gets knocked out, we can Night Stretcher it back, and evolve it straight into it with 4 rare candies. In a deck where you're playing Stage 2s, you're going to want at least 2 or 3 rare candies. I mean, 2 is like the bare minimum if you're only going to play 1 Stage 2. If you're playing more than 1 Stage 2, 4 is generally the way to go. Playing 1 copy of Super Rod here, just to be able to make sure that we can get back things that might be discarded for any reason. And we play 4 copies of Ultra Ball. There's a lot of Pokemon search for not that many Pokemon, believe it or not, but it works, and that's what I like to see. 4 copies of Ultra Ball. Once again, discard 2 cards from your hand, search for any Pokemon you want. This can help us get our things that if we have a rare candy in hand, we've had a Pidgey on the board for quite a little bit. Being able to just grab a rare candy, go into Pidgeot immediately is going to be really, really big for us. Play 1 stadium, 1 copy of Pokemon League headquarters, just to make things like Badoo a little bit more annoying for them to be able to attack with, forcing them to have an extra energy in hand. 4 copies of Arven, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Grab an item card, grab a tool card, like Counter Gain, and put it into your hand. I mean, nothing really else here. We play 1 copy of Boss's Orders because, like I said earlier, we do play on the back foot a lot, so being able to use something like Counter Catcher is going to be very, very ideal. Very, very ideal to us. The next thing that we're going to be talking over is we're playing 1 copy of Crispin. Crispin allows us to search for 2 of any different type of energy, put 1 in hand, attach 1 to your Pokemon. You essentially get a free energy attachment by using Crispin, and we're going to be using this to grab our Metal and our Psychic energies. We play 3 copies of Iono just to get that hand disruption in and to be able to allow us to get a fresh hand every now and then, just in case we absolutely need to get that fresh hand. 1 copy Professor Turo. We already covered this in Chiampao. Just pick up a card or a Pokemon that might have some damage on it, and just discard all the other cards attached to said Pokemon. 2 copies of Counter Gain, which if you're on the back foot, like I mentioned earlier, your attacks cost 1 colorless less. So, in theory, you can Crashing Headbutt for 200 damage for a single energy, and discard the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. I mean, what's there not to love about that? Playing 1 copy of Forest Seal Stone, attach that to a Pokemon V. We get a mini Quick Search anytime throughout the game. That's going to be awesome. There's a lot of plays where you can Quick Search and use the Forest Seal Stone, or use Forest Seal Stone, get whatever you need, and then Quick Search after that. There's a lot going on. Play a copy of TM Devo, just in case we end up smacking a Charizard for 130. We can TM Evo it, and yeah, we're taking 1 less prize card, but that Charmander goes into the discard pile, and their Charizard goes into their hand, leaving them with really nothing else that they can do with it. A spec of choice, Neo Upper Energy. If it's attached to a Stage 2 Pokemon, it provides 2 energy of any type. So we can cover our Metal and our Psychic, we can cover Dark and Psychic, we can cover Dark and Metal. There's a lot that goes on with this kind of a deck, and I'm really excited to bring it onto the ladder with you guys, so let's go ahead and do it. Game number 1. Alright, game number 1 here, we do see, I see some Dragon Pokemon. Or I see a Dragon deck box, but that doesn't really tell me anything at all if you actually want to, like, you know, if you want to hyper-analyze people's deck boxes like I do, it really doesn't tell you that much at all. Game almost crashed there for a second. We're going to be choosing Heads, because Tails never fails, and that's the motto that people run on, so Heads is going to not hit. Okay. Tails never fails. I should have listened to the masses. It's whatever. It happens. A deck like this, maybe sometimes going second, isn't too bad. Yeah, so running first or second, I usually never really care. And we're going to go first anyway, which is what I was going to choose. Let's see what we can get with this opening hand here. I'm actually really excited to see what our opponent's playing. We get absolutely nothing with that opening hand, and neither did our opponents. We can actually take a nice little look and see what they're running. Okay, so we mulligan again before they do. So let's actually take a look. Scramble Switch, Lightning Energy, Chris, I think. Future Box? That's the only thing I can really imagine, right? This Future Box with Iron Hands. Psychic Energy for Miraidon, Iron Crown, I guess? I could go for a Future Box match. I could go for a little bit of some Future Box. The ops with the Future Box. I love these sleeves, by the way. They're so cute. Alright, let's see what we can get. Let's go ahead. 4 mulligans is crazy. But we do get ourselves a Dino, a Pidgey, and a Pheasantipity. So I can't be too mad. But that is that's dumb. I don't think I've ever mulliganed that many times. 5 mulligans in total is like actually insane. So like, and they give us like the worst possible. I mean, if we draw into a rare candy or an Arven, it's not really that big of a deal. But drawing 2 Pidgeots with a Neo Upper and a basic Dark is kind of going to be annoying, especially if we only, if we don't get like a Buddy Poffin or something like that to be able to facilitate our board state a little bit more. It's going to be a little bit more annoying, but you know what? We can deal with it. We've dealt with it before. We've dealt with worse. I've dealt with worse personally. Maybe even a top deck Rotom V. So we are going to be going against Future Box as predicted. Nest Ball. Beautiful. Nest Ball for Rotom V. We're going to attach the Dark Energy, and we're just going to instant charge for 3. If we can get a rare candy off of this, it's going to be huge for us. Let's see what we can get off of this. A Dark Patch and an Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball, I'm not really too upset with. Dark Patch, I mean, we can't really use it too much. I mean, we're going to have to find a way to get rare candy. I mean, we can Ultra Ball, we can get a Luminion, and then we can get the Arven for the rare candy, and then we can get the Pidgeot, and then we can get the, there's a lot that we can do here with this hand. But what does Smoochum do? I actually haven't seen it. 2 basic Psychic Energy and attach them. Okay. So they're going to be going for an Amp You Very Much, probably pretty early. This might be a Turbo Lost Box deck, because Smoochum is actually insane. I actually never saw that card before. In Future Box too? That might be what you want. But Iron Hands is unfortunately going to be very susceptible to getting hit for 130. So what does Brassius do? Count the cards in your hands. Okay. So it's just a hand reset card. Sorry, I'm fiddling with the mic a lot, and I hope it's not like destroying your ears as we're going on with this. So Nest Ball, what are they going to get with Nest Ball? Probably another Miraidon or an Iron Crown. I feel like Iron Crown is probably the best move here. I don't think they're going to get Iron Leaves. I feel like Iron Leaves is sort of like a bench clogger, to be completely honest with you. Latias EX, another Pokemon that I can hit with Obsidian. This is what I like about Future Box. Keep benching those EXs that don't have 270 or more. I want to be able to tell you, listen, figure it out or you lose. I like that. Delightful Kiss, they're just going to search for 2 basic Psychic Energy and put them on their Pokemon. I want a rare candy or an Arven off this top deck. That would be insane, because then we can get our Hydreigon going. We can get this game going crazy. That's what I want to see off this top deck. Maybe even an Arven to be able to get the 4 Seal. Yeah, even with 4 Seal Stone and rare candy, we're going to be able to make some things happen. So let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. Buddy Poffin. That's not too bad. Do we have Luminion in deck? Yes, we do. Okay, so we can Ultra Ball away, Dark Patch and Pidgeot, grab Luminion. That's two prize liabilities on the 3 actually, but we're gonna need to do this if we want to be able to stand a chance here. Yes, we're gonna use Luminous Sign. We're gonna grab Arven. Arven, 4 rare candy, 4 Seal Stone. Hopefully it's in deck. I didn't check. There we go. Boom. That was bars. We're gonna rare candy into Pidgeot. We're going to attach the 4 Seal Stone to Rotom. We're going to go ahead and Star Alchemy, search our deck for a card and put it in our hand. We're going to grab Hydreigon, and we're going to quick search for that rare candy. We're going to make this happen, whether they like it or not. Let's go ahead and grab this, make sure that we just grab what we need. Absolutely. I always end up grabbing the wrong thing sometimes. It's, like, honestly, kind of annoying. So we are going to attach this Neo Upper Energy, and we're going to Crashing Headbutt for 400 damage because of type advantage. And let's see what we discard. Get rid of Energy Search, Energy Retrieval, and a basic Psychic. That's annoying. So next turn, provided we get... I mean, we're going to Iono anyway, unless they want to Iono us. But they're going to be in a rough spot right now, because they attach the 2 Psychic to Miraidon. They can only use Future Booster Energy for 60, and then they can do 100 damage total, or 120. Yeah, they can do 120 damage total with Miraidon. But that's not going to stop me from hitting Obsidian next turn and telling them to figure it out. This is what I like. The absolute aggressiveness of a deck like this is what I love to see in the format. I don't like decks that sit up way too fast, because I like to be able to play the game for more than 5 minutes. I mean, what's the point of 45-minute matches if your games are going to be over in 6 turns? You know what I mean? Yeah, back in my day, our games were longer. But that's besides the point. That's besides the point. I can be upset all I want. Alright, the format has gotten significantly faster. That's not a good or a bad thing, though. So they are going to hit us for... There's no way they only hit us for 40, right? They have to have something in hand to be able to get ourselves at least an extra 20 damage. Or do they not play Town Store? Because Town Store already let them get the Future Booster Energy Capsule and allow them to smack for at least 60. If they... Wow. So they're only going to be hitting for 40 right here, which means Amp You Very Much is not going to be doing very much, ironically enough. So I'm just going to quick search for a regular Dark Energy, and I'm just going to let that sit. Because I can take 5 prizes next turn. Or I'm going to take a prize this turn, and then I can take the other 2 next turn. Because they don't have a bench block or damage block from the bench. I don't even need the quick search for the energy. It's just right there. We are going to quick search, however. We're going to get a Zweilous. So that way, regardless, next turn, I can go in a Hydreigon. And we can make something happen a little bit easier for us. But we are going to Obsidian right now. We're just going to toss damage everywhere. And we're going to tell our opponent, hey, you got to figure that out, dude. I love this deck. It's so fun. Alright, so they just lose next turn if they don't knock out this Hydreigon. Which they need to do 290 damage, which isn't going to be very easy. They don't hit for weakness. I don't think there's anything that they can really hit me with that does that much damage in Future Box. So they're gonna have to Professor Turo or have to do something to pick up a Pokemon, otherwise they lose. And this is what I'm talking about. Hydreigon is not that hard, or it's not that it's not hard. A lot of people try and make this deck into something else. They did it with Shampoo, where they just tried so many different things at once, and it ended up becoming the deck that it wasn't. When you have a deck like Hydreigon, you want to be able to just make the deck and have it function. And I feel like a lot of people just don't do that very much. They'll sit there and they'll try and experiment. They'll try different things, which is always good. But when you bring it to a regional, when you're playing with like something, all right, and they just concede. So that's going to be game number 1 really quickly. We're 15 minutes in, and that includes the deck preview. So hey, Hydreigon takes his first win against Future Box. Let's go ahead and go on to game number 2. Let's see if we can get that 3-0. I don't even think it's worth cutting, because that was like instant. That was an instant game 2. So game 2 right here, let's see what we're going to be going against. They have the Eevee coin, so I'm pressured to say Flareon or Jolteon. I'd be very interested to see what they play, because there can be a lot going on right here. And I'm ready. I'm ready. So they're going to be flipping the coin. They do hit heads, and they're probably going to decide to go first. If they don't, then I'm going to be happy. But taking... Yeah, I just realized that we took 7 mulligans, I think it was, right? Am I doing the math right? Because I think we got 2 and then we got 5. That's wild. I've never mulliganed this much playing this deck before, and I've played this deck since it like dropped. It's wild. 2 mulligans. Okay, that's not the worst in the world. And we do get a pretty decent opening hand. Arvin for Buddy Buddy Poffin, Nest Ball for Rotom, Ultra Ball. You know, we have a lot of options, but let's see what our opponent is playing. I'm actually very curious. They do have the EVs, so yep, EVX. So this could be anything, and because it's a Terra Pokemon, and because Eevee is a Terra Pokemon based deck, we are going to be very susceptible to Obsidian not really working as much. But we're not really worried about that, because hitting for 200 damage twice is still going to be awesome. This game's probably going to take a little bit longer than our last game, but I'm not really too worried about it, because Hydreigon is going to be a fun match regardless of what you're playing against. So we do end up top decking the Night Stretcher. Kind of something I didn't want to see that early, but we are going to grab ourselves a Rotom V. I don't know why I almost grabbed the Pidgey, because I was about to grab Buddy Buddy Poffin with this. Don't worry, don't mind me. We're going to grab you, and we're going to grab you. We're going to use Buddy Buddy Poffin, grab ourselves another Pidgey and another Dano. Attach the Forest Seal Stone onto this Rotom V so beautifully, and I don't even think we're going to do anything else. We're just going to instant charge. I want to Ultra Ball for something, but I don't want my opponent to be... Oh, wow. I don't want my opponent to sit there and Iono me, and then I'd be very sad. So we're just going to sit there. We're going to hold the hand for now and see what our opponent's going to do, because we do have a way... Alright, Flareon EX, as I suspected. Our Dano is in danger right now. If they take the knockout, then I'm not going to be too upset about it, but it is going to be kind of annoying. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Terra Orb is going to get them probably another Flareon, right? I mean, I doubt they're going to... Jolteon. Flareon and Jolteon. So let's see what they're going to be doing with either of these, because I know that Jolteon is good on its own. I just feel like if you're going to play Flareon, why not just play Jolteon? You know what I mean? It's the same attack, but Jolteon just has free retreat. You know what I mean? If you use Jolteon's attack and then you retreat into Flareon and you use Flareon's attack, you don't have to discard the energy. But whatever. I'm not piloting it. This person came up with the deck, and they're going to get the energies to be able to hit me for a lot of damage next turn. That's not very fun. But I'm putting Dano here, and we are going to be... Okay. First things first, sequencing. Ultra Ball away and Ultra Ball. And then not Nest Ball. Ooh, a lot of stuff here I really like. Let's get rid of Basic Dark, because I can Night Stretcher that back. We're going to grab... Yep, Pidgeot. We can Rare Candy into Pidgeot. We are going to use Arvin, right? Because we can Arvin for Ultra Ball. No. Yeah, we're going to Arvin for Ultra Ball. And TM Devo. TM Devo is going to help us too much right now. We're going to Ultra Ball. We're going to Nest Ball first, because we want more cards to be able to thin out. Bench Fez, and we're going to bench Dano, and we're going to use Fez, flip the script for 3 extra cards, because a lot of these I really don't want to get rid of. Okay, so we do get a Crispin for next turn, but that doesn't help us too much. grabbing another Buddy Paulfin. I guess we can bench another Dano, just because it's probably going to be one of those longer games. But we are going to unfortunately have to get rid of TM Devo and Super Rod, and then have to use the Night Stretcher, which is going to be kind of sad to do. But you know what? We have to do it. Things happen. Grabbing ourselves right there, that beautiful dark energy, and we're gonna quick search for counter gain. Just be able to hit that 200 for a single energy. Is it in the deck? Did I prize both counter gain? That is wild. I don't have it in hand, right? I didn't discard any. Yeah, I prized both counter gain. Oof. Okay, so we're just gonna have to stall this turn out. So we'll counter catch your. I mean, they just attach retreat, right? So we'll see. We'll play. We'll see if they have the energy in hand, and we'll just instant charge. That's wild. I prized all counter gains, and I think I prized the Neo upper energy too. This is why my name in the Ginge TCG Discord is Mr. Prize. All right. I didn't see the Neo upper energy when I was in there. I for sure did not discard it. So it's just there. It's there. And I'm going to find it, whether Pokemon is a fan of it or not. This is why I want Town Map back in the form. Yeah, they even have this. They have the card switch. They have the switch card. So they're going to be smacking me for quite a lot. 290. Oof. Arvin, thank you very much for appearing. I don't need you right now. But what I could do is Crispin for a Dark and a Psychic. Let's get another Hydreigon back on the board, because I feel like that's our only real thing that we're going to be doing. Yeah, let me just see. I don't have... Yeah, the pink card is not here either. So I actually prized Neo Upper Energy and 2 Counter Gain. That is something only I could do. I'm telling you guys, I'm not lying when I post my prizes and how bad they are. We'll go ahead and Crispin, and we'll be able to next turn hit a little harder. Because we did manually touch Dark Energy this turn, right? Yeah. So we're going to Crashing Headbutt for 200 damage. Yikes, that hurts to see get discarded. But does Flareon only attach? Okay, Flareon attaches, so they're gonna be probably doing the Crispin. All right, they have one of their own. This is gonna be rough because we're gonna be down a couple prizes, and that's not something I necessarily want to see. I should have played. See, I'd like to play Regigigas, but I feel like Regigigas is gonna be a pain to set up in a deck like this. Because it takes 4 regular energy, Dark Patch doesn't attach to it, and Crispin is cool, but then you'd have to use 2 manual attachments, and it just feels like a lot. But our opponent is probably going to be taking another 2 prize KO right here. They're going to be on an uneven prize trade. So I'm not really the most upset about that, but are they just going to retreat? Okay, not a bad shout for them to do. Not at all. Okay. So the retreat right there into Jolteon, so they can retreat and go into Flareon, and then do that the turn after. Is a good idea. But I think I'm going to quick search for... Nah, because... Hold on. This card was you basic. Okay, so that's like Mewtwo V-Star. Wild comparison, I know. I kind of want to take out that Flareon. Oh, wait, hold on. That's actually really awesome for us. We're gonna flip the script for 3, because why not? It's there. Just use it. Okay. Arvin 4. Rare Candy. Let's just make sure the last Hydreigon is there. Yep, Rare Candy. I feel like we quick search for Ultra Ball right here, because I really don't want to lose that Dano on the bench. And the rest of this I can get rid of Buddy Paulfin, and I can get rid of a Dark Energy. That is for certain. So we are going to get our 3rd Hydreigon on the field. And then attach a basic Psychic onto Hydreigon. And we didn't get the counter catcher, so that's going to be sort of annoying. I kind of just overthunk that a little bit, but it's not that big of a deal. They're not going to... I don't think they one-shot. No, they don't. So I'm going to be taking 2 prizes next turn, and then they're going to be taking 2 the following, and then I'll take another 2. Yeah. So if they can't... We are in a better spot than I want to believe we're in. I think we still have a Super Odd in deck. Yeah, we maybe... I don't know. Did we play 1 or 2? I don't know my own list, so don't yell at me. Super Odding back in a couple of Pokemon and energy. That's completely fine. So we are on the back foot, but I'm not really too a Noctowl. That's wild. Okay. So they just didn't bench a Hoot whatsoever this entire game. Alright, taking a... I'm not even going to pretend to know that deck. I haven't played against it before, so they are going to be smacking us for a decent bit right here. It's not going to be an Oko, which is good for me. I'm not really worried about getting one-hit KO'd. I'm worried about them taking an... Okay. I'm cool with the Iono. I'm really cool with that, believe it or not. That's fine. That's not. Okay. So we are going to be taking a KO. They're going to be taking a return KO, and then we can smack again. But they don't have any energies on the board, right? So they can't attack next turn, regardless of what they do. I'm going to be playing that just to be able to get a little bit more disruption in there. I mean, let's go ahead and grab ourselves a Dark Patch. If we still have one. Yep, we do. Okay. So we're going to Dark Patch on the Hydreigon so that way it's ready to swing next turn. And our opponent is actually a lot more stuck than I thought that they were going to be. So they have no energy to attack next turn, and they lost their Crystal because I'm just like that. So they are going to be decently annoyed probably by that. I think I get some recovery next turn. Because they just have to pass. They can't really do much. And then we just take out Flareon, discard another 3 cards. I think if they try and set up... I think I just take out Eevee next turn, right? Because then the Flareon... Yeah, I take out Eevee next turn. So I counter catcher, take out the Eevee for 200 flat. Discard 3 more cards. And then their Flareon, which is not able to attack next turn, is just going to sit there and have to deal with that, right? And their Eevee is going to be affected by Pokemon League headquarters, right? So yeah, I counter catcher up the Eevee on the board, and then I take that easy 2 prize KO. And then I still have another Hydreigon on the bench ready to attack. Right? So yeah, I think that's the play. So I'm expecting to see a pink card or a counter gain here. I'm expecting to see... Yep, there they are. Okay, awesome. I'm not crazy. I can actually Obsidian next turn and take an extra few prize cards, but I'm not gonna be that guy. Our opponent is actually stuck, so I think we just win this turn, right? Yeah, it's fine. GG's though. You played good. You played alright. I like the idea of the deck. I really like the idea of having a whole bunch of Eeveelutions because I think Flareon and Jolteon attack for the same energy requirement, right? Yeah, and our opponent's just gonna concede. So I think they do attack for the same energy requirement, and Flareon can boost that energy up a decent bit. So I am pretty excited to go against into game 3. We're already 2-0, so let's see if we can make that a nice little 3-0. Dude, games are just going by so quick. I don't even need to do a jump cut. I just toss this into Vegas and just move on with my life. We're going to choose heads, because tails never fails, right? Except for when it's heads. Awesome. I love to see it. Going first. Let's go. This is going to be... Yo, what is up with the mulligans, yo? I am a mulligan master. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Oh, we get a Dano and we get a Buddy Buddy Puff and an S-Ball. See, like, this is what I'm talking about. This deck is consistent. And am I playing against another of the same deck? No, they play Magma Basin and Capturing Aroma. I think they're going to be playing just basic Flareon. Yeah, I think it's just base Flareon is what they're playing. So they're not going to be doing no Jolteon shenanigans. I do like Jolteon as a deck. I think that it's not that bad. I think hitting for 280. I mean, we put it at D tier on our tier list. But I think that once people learn the deck a little bit more and how to play it, I think it might actually not be that bad of a shot to play.
So that's gonna be a little bit of fun. So let's go ahead and see what they're gonna do, or what they put up, because we have a pretty solid next turn coming up for us. Not pretty solid. We have an amazing next turn, especially if we get something decent off of the Rotom V that we're gonna be putting down. Oh, we actually get a mulligan. Oh my god! And they're playing Fez and Cleffa. The only thing that screams to me is Charizard, but I don't think that they're gonna be playing Zard with what we've seen in the mulligan like previews, right? So I'm not really too worried about what they're gonna be playing. I'm worried about what I'm playing right now, and that is the deck to win all decks. Oh, wow. All right. I'm actually just like never punished in this game. It's incredible. It's actually wild how insane this deck is. Good lord. All right. Rare Candy and the Hydreigon. Or Rare Candy to Pidgeot. Then we Rare Candy Hydreigon. And then we Crispin to the active. And move on from there. Yeah. Let's see what we get here. So I don't even think it matters if we... Let's Ultra Ball, Dark Patch, and Professor Turo. I don't think Turo's going to help us too much in this game. And before it does. Grab Pidgeot. Rare Candy into Pidgeot. Then we're going to Rare Candy into Hydreigon. We're going to Quick Search for Crispin. And then we're going to be able to do something crazy with that Crispin. So let's go ahead and Quick Search right now. Grab ourselves that beautiful chef right there, cooking it up like we're doing right now. So we can go ahead and do that. Grab ourselves the Darkness and the Metal Energy. Go ahead and attach the Darkness to the active. Or, yeah, Dark and Metal to the active. Doesn't really matter which order we do it in, but we are going to be making it happen. And I didn't prize check to see if we have the pink card. That's going to be a problem, but not a problem that I'm trying to deal with right now. But we do take the one prize KO, and we get an Arven. So that's going to be helping us a little bit right next turn, so we can get ourselves something nice going on. If they want to bench basic Pokemon, like Cleffas, they want to bench their Eevees, I'm cool with an Iono. I'm completely fine with losing this hand right now. There wasn't really much going for us anyway, but we do get something nice. We get another Hydreigon, so we can Rare Candy into Hydreigon again. They're going to flip the script, and we're going to see if they're going to get anything off of that. Buddy Poffin, that's exactly what I wanted to see. I can take a couple KOs next turn if we have the pink card in deck, which I didn't check again. So we're going to be seeing what they're going to grab right there. It's going to be 2 Pokemon with 70 HP or less. I'm not too worried about them getting anything too crazy. I mean, I'll actually be able to see what they're playing. If I see 2 Pokemon Go Charmanders, I might actually lose my mind. But that's probably not what we're going to see. And I say probably with a hint of regret in my voice. They just get a single Pidgey. A single Pidgey. Capturing Aroma, they're probably going to grab a Pidgeot if they hit heads on this, right? Do they have to reveal it? Yeah, they have to reveal it. So they're probably going to grab a Pidgeot EX. And I'm going to crush their hopes and dreams if I can find the pink card. And if I can't find the pink card, then I just grab Boss KO the Pidgey, and just move on with my life, because that would just be the worst way for them to go. You do get another flip the script afterwards, but I'm not really... They can draw all the cards they want. I'm not going to sit here and be upset about it. Quick search right now. Do we have the pink card? If we have the pink card, we are in business. Are we in business? Yes, we're in business. This is what I'm talking about. Hydreigon is actually insane, and people are sleeping on it. I don't even really want to play anything else aside from that Rare Candy and the Hydreigon. And I've pronounced that Pokemon like 8 different times this entire video. So, like, you know what I mean? Don't yell at me. Obsidian taking out that Pidgey on the bench. It's just unfortunate. My opponent is in a pretty rough spot right now. They can't really get anything going. And we're just going to be able to take the knockout on this Pheasantipity next turn. Hopefully they get something else going down. And if they do, I'm just going to Obsidian again. Or tell them to figure it out. They might even venture Rotom V. Figure it out. This is the type of setup I'm talking about. Just play this game, or play this deck with Pidgeot, and you are going to absolutely annihilate the competition. Capturing Aroma. I hope you flip heads. All right, flipping tails. What are you going to grab? That's a basic Pokemon that you didn't grab a Buddy Poffin. I take it that you didn't have 2 Pidgeys in the deck. So you have 2, and you just didn't grab it with the other buddy. I mean, I guess it didn't matter because I would have taken out the second Pidgey anyway. But it's still just like a state of mind. Like, why didn't you just grab the second Pidgey when you went in? with the Buddy Buddy Puffin and you saw that you had 2 Pidgeys, make it make sense to me, because it doesn't, and I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying real hard. Trust me, I'm trying really hard to figure that out. But if we're just going to be sitting here staring at the active spot, I mean, we got to... Yeah, our opponent's just going to concede. That's a 3-0 with Hydreigon today. Absolutely insane deck. This is what I'm talking about. This deck just farms the ladder the entire time. If you're as consistent with this deck as I've shown, you're going to absolutely just annihilate everybody. How fast was that video? That was a 35-minute from start to finish. That's what I'm talking about, baby. All right, peace and love, guys. You guys have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your night.